Have you heard about multiple intelligences before? Or are you still under the impression that there is just IQ, or maybe IQ and EQ? In today's episode of Exploring Brain and Mind, I will shed a bit more light on the theory of multiple intelligences and how useful it could be to consider having multiple intelligences rather than just IQ and EQ. If you want to find out more, just stay tuned and keep on listening. So in today's episode, we are challenging the traditional view of intelligence, and we're going to be exploring a fascinating concept of multiple intelligences. We often think of intelligence as a single measurable entity, as in the IQ, but research suggests that there are many different ways to be intelligent, and thinking that we have multiple intelligences can have a different effect on how we approach learning, recruitment, and other areas in life. Let's briefly look at the old traditional IQ, that it's going to be measured with all sorts of different questionnaires and tests, but they fall short often to assess creativity, empathy, or practical problem solving. And another part of traditional thinking about intelligence was that many people were thinking for a long time that intelligence is fixed, but that is a myth, and intelligence can be changed and improved. It is not fixed at all. More and more research is coming out about that. And while the traditional intelligence is focused on looking at the logical, mathematical, and linguistic abilities, there is a far wider scope within the theory of multiple intelligences. The multiple intelligences theory was developed by Howard Gardner. He developed a groundbreaking theory which proposes that there are several distinct intelligences, and it emphasizes how everyone possesses all of these intelligences to a varying degree. But while Gardner goes into main 8 or 9 different intelligences, there is more research and there are more theories and ideas coming up linked to that subject. I go a little bit in those, but that's more towards the end. I'm starting with going into each of the 9 main intelligences that Gardner refers to, and I'll add a few examples of personalities that are linked to each of the intelligences. The first intelligence is the linguistic intelligence. Some call it word smart. It's the sensitivity to spoken and written language, the ability to learn languages and use language efficiently to express oneself and understand others. People with high linguistic intelligence enjoy reading, writing, storytelling, and debating. They have a large vocabulary and good grammar. Linguistic intelligence plays an important role in diplomacy, as in using the right words to influence, to negotiate, and to empathize. Potential career paths include being a writer, a journalist, a speaker, a teacher, a lawyer, or a poet, and great exercise to enhance linguistic intelligence are journaling, learning new languages, or joining debate clubs. Famous people with a high linguistic intelligence included William Shakespeare, Maya Angelou, and J.K. rolling. Next one is the logical mathematical intelligence, or being number or reasoning smart. It is the ability to analyze problems logically, carry out mathematical operations, and investigate issues scientifically. People with that intelligence enjoy solving puzzles. They enjoy working with numbers and conducting experiments. They think logically and systematically. There are some fields with some more unconventional connotations that require this, and they might be chefs, people who cook. They need to watch out for measurements, that the recipes work well, and that they time their cooking times or baking times according to the recipes. Another one is gardeners. They need to understand growth potential. They also need to understand measurements of plots and proportions of sometimes mixing soil with fertilizers or other ingredients that help plants and trees to grow. Potential career paths include scientists, mathematicians, engineers, computer programmers, and accountants. And great exercises to enhance your logical mathematical intelligence are solving puzzles, analyze data patterns, or to create logic games. Famous people with a high logical mathematical intelligence include physicist and thinker Albert Einstein, Ada Lovelace, a pioneer of computer science, and Marie Curie, a chemist and physicist, a pioneer in radioactivity. We then have spatial intelligence, or being picture smart, in quotes. That is the ability to perceive the visual spatial world accurately and the ability to manipulate mental images. People with a great spatial intelligence have a good sense of direction. They enjoy drawing, painting, and building things, and they tend to think in images and pictures. Potential career paths for these people may be architects, artists, designers, pilots, navigators, or sculptors. And famous people with spatial intelligence include Leonardo da Vinci, Frank Lloyd Wright, an architect with innovative designs, and Ansel Adams, a renowned landscape photographer. Then we have musical intelligence, or being music smart. It's the ability to perceive, discriminate, transform, and express musical forms. People with high musical intelligence enjoy listening to music, playing instruments, and singing. They have a good sense of rhythm and melody. Musical intelligence can have some calming effects, especially thinking of how sound therapy can be used with frequencies for healing. Career paths for people with high musical intelligence include musicians, composers, singers, conductors, and music teachers. I would actually also include sound technicians in that. Any kind of sound technicians that sort out the PA for concerts and gigs or for recording in studios. Exercises to enhance musical intelligence could be try beat-based meditation or learn rhythmic breathing to enhance the neuroconnectivity. And I would include learning to play an instrument as well. That can have a huge impact on your musical intelligence. You don't necessarily have to read notes, because you can pick up sounds and you can pick up keys if you practice listening to music and if you know some basics about playing instruments. Famous people with high musical intelligence are Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart, Ludwig van Beethoven. These are big composers that composed both concerts, songs, requiems, bigger musical projects. And then you've got modern geniuses with regards to music that have a high versatility, trying different styles, different instruments. 2 examples for that I have are Matthew Bellamy, who is not only lead vocalist in Muse, but also guitarist, and he plays piano. And Mike Oldfield, who is a multi-instrumentalist, who was one of the first to sign up for Virgin Records, one of Richard Branson's first ventures. Next is the body kinesthetic intelligence, or being body smart, which is ability to use one's body to skillfully express ideas and feelings and to handle objects skillfully. These people with high body kinesthetic intelligence have a good physical coordination. They enjoy sports, dance, and hands-on activities, and they learn best through movement and through physical experience. This kind of intelligence also has a high relevance in medicine because this intelligence needs to be highly developed among surgeons who rely on precision and coordination. Career paths for people with high bodily kinesthetic intelligence are athletes, dancers, actors, surgeons, craftspeople, and mechanics. To enhance your bodily kinesthetic intelligence, you can engage in yoga, in dance, or in crafting activities. And famous people involved with this type of intelligence are Usain Bolt and Michael Jackson, as well as Simone Biles, who may be less known, but was a gymnast or is a gymnast with unprecedented athletic achievements. We then have intrapersonal intelligence, the self-smart people. People with high intrapersonal intelligence have the ability to understand oneself, including one's own strengths, weaknesses, motivations, and desires. They are highly self-aware, reflective, and independent, and they have a good understanding of their own emotions. This is important when you're working in the mental health sector. It is also important for artists and for entrepreneurs. Potential career paths include philosophers, writers, therapists, counselors, and entrepreneurs. Exercises to enhance your intrapersonal intelligence are to practice introspection and self-reflection to aid decision-making and personal growth. I would even add journaling in it, even though that's more like related to the linguistic intelligence. Famous people with high intrapersonal intelligence are Carl Jung, Virginia Woolf, and Eckhart Tolle. Next is interpersonal intelligence, as in being people smart. It's the ability to understand and interact effectively with others. People with high interpersonal intelligence have good communication skills, they are empathetic, and they enjoy working in groups. They understand others' emotions and motivations. Interpersonal intelligence is essential in leadership roles for facilitating conflict resolution, to empower and motivate people, and for teamwork and team management as well. Potential career paths are teachers, counselors, therapists, salespeople, politicians, and managers. How to cultivate and enhance interpersonal skills is to attend workshops, to volunteer, to practice active listening, to network with others, go to seminars. Seminars are great for personal development. And some famous people linked to interpersonal intelligence are Oprah Winfrey, Mahatma Gandhi, and Princess Diana. The next intelligence we're looking at is the naturalistic intelligence, or being nature smart. It's the ability to recognize and classify plants, animals, and other objects in nature. And I would add to also take care of nature and be aware of how nature works, nature's cycles and ecological systems. People with high naturalistic intelligence, they enjoy spending time outdoors. They like observing nature, flora, fauna, and learning about plants and animals. This kind of intelligence is important for caring for the environment and creating environmental solutions that are or should be based on nature and how nature works rather than how humans want it to be. Potential career paths would include biologists, botanists, zoologists, farmers, and environmentalists. And exercises to enhance your naturalistic intelligence include spending time gardening, bird watching, or exploring ecosystems. Going out in nature, going for walks, observing what's happening in each season, appreciating it. Famous people linked with naturalistic intelligence are David Attenborough, Jane Goodall, and Charles Darwin. Then the last of the main 9 intelligences is the spiritual and existential intelligence, which sees people as philosophically smart. They understand deeper questions about purpose and interconnections. It is a sensitivity to deep questions about human existence, such as the meaning of life, death, and the universe. These people enjoy philosophical discussions and exploring existential themes. Potential career paths for people with high spiritual and existential intelligence would include philosophers, theologists, or spiritual leaders. Techniques or exercises to enhance your spiritual existential intelligence could be meditation, philosophical readings, or volunteering for a cause. Famous people linked to this kind of intelligence would be the Dalai Lama, Socrates, Thich Nhat Hanh, and Deepak Chopra. You may have noticed that I haven't mentioned emotional intelligence yet, but emotional intelligence is really the combination of intrapersonal and interpersonal intelligence. Both together form emotional intelligence. And people with high emotional intelligence can outperform technically skilled and brilliant people, as well as emotionally unaware peers by miles, because of the combination of both person-related skill sets. I might even do a separate episode on emotional intelligence that would be based on the 12 emotional intelligence competencies as offered in and shown in an assessment that is on offer via Mastering Your Mind Matters. Some people with high emotional intelligence include Barack Obama, Brené Brown, and Dolly Parton, who is celebrated for making strong emotional connections with her fans and her philanthropic efforts. There are some emerging intelligences which are not included in Howard Gardner's theory of multiple intelligences, but they seem to be popping up. One of them is artificial intelligence and technological literacy, which is adaptability and willingness to embrace change. And they are becoming critical forms of intelligence. An exercise to check yours would be to be cautious about evolving technology and how it interacts with the brain. People involved with artificial intelligence and technological literacy would be Elon Musk and Alan Turing, a father of computer science and artificial intelligence. Then we have cultural intelligence appearing on the scene as well. That is adapting communication styles and behaviors in multicultural settings. I have connections to some Hawaiian people, and some of them are cultural practitioners. And these cultural practitioners sometimes introduce ancient wisdom and concepts of knowledge relevant to settings in which they work or operate. Cultural intelligence can help to enhance understanding of each other when people of different cultures work together in organizations. They can also help understanding and creating acceptance of each other when people from one country visit another, or if people from one country want to settle in another country. Some people also say there is a creative intelligence, which is the ability to generate new ideas and solutions. But I don't know if that's really a separate intelligence or if that is not a combination of more than one intelligence. And besides the creative intelligence, there is also talk of a practical intelligence, which is the ability to adapt to everyday situations and solve real world problems, which again I see as a combination of different types of intelligence combined, because sometimes you need more than one intelligence to find solutions for a problem. There could be implications of the multiple intelligence theory, and areas it could impact would be education, because understanding multiple intelligences could improve teaching methods and cater for diverse learning styles. It impacts personal development because there is an importance for recognizing and developing one's own unique set of intelligences. That's why the assessment would be good, to find out your intelligences and what the combination is and how it could impact your choice for work, your choice for business, and even a choice of different hobbies. So the theory of multiple intelligences reminds us that intelligence is multifaceted and diverse, and by recognizing and nurturing our unique strengths, we can unlock our full potential and live more fulfilling lives. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Exploring Brain and Mind about multiple intelligences. Like and share the episode with other people, and I hope you tune in again to the next episode. And before I forget it, follow and subscribe to Exploring Brain and Mind on Apple, on Spotify, and on all other podcast outlets.